Hi guys, welcome back to Prepared Code. In this channel, I conduct classes on web development and programming. So if you are visiting my channel for the first time, please consider subscribing by hitting the subscription button and turning on the notification bell. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add events, JavaScript event to HTML element in two ways. So now, if you want to add an event to a HTML element, first of all, let's create a button element of HTML. Let's give this element and let's just call it btn, and let's say click me. Okay, now let's see how our button looks. Okay, this is our button. You can see when we are clicking on this button, nothing happens because currently it's just a HTML element with no event. So if we want to make this button looks more lively and have some functionality or listing to some functions, or we need to add event to it. So how do we do that? So if we want to add a event to HTML element, first of all, let's create let's use this element to wrap our JavaScript. Now, we will have to refer, if you want to add an event to a HTML element from JavaScript, the first thing you need to do is to call that element from your JavaScript. So how do we call a HTML element first from JavaScript? So how we do that? There are many ways to call a HTML element. That could be by the ID, the class name, or the tag name. So but in this class, we're going to be calling this button element by the ID, which is btn. So let's call it by the ID. Let's say var, let's say button. The button is equals to document dot get elements by ID. Now we should call it, so we have called this element, HTML element, now by ID. You can see the button, this button variable now stores the object of this HTML element. So if you want to see what that button is, you can just allow the button, and once we refresh the page, you can see here object HTML button element. So the variable button here is storing the object of this HTML element button. So if you want to add event to that buttons, there are two ways I'm going to show you. The first one is to use the add event listener method, which is one of the built-in method in JavaScript. So first of all, let's do that. Let's call the button here. Let's say dot add event listener. Now this method here takes two parameters. We are going to be passing two parameters. The first parameter is the kind of event we want to add to this element, and the second parameter is the callback function, which is where we'll put we write other subsequent code what we want to happen once we click this button. Okay, so now we'll have this as the callback function. So inside the callback function, we can type anything. We can say alert, we can call this purpose, say you just, okay, we can just say you just clicked me. Okay, let's now see what happens. No, okay, you can see you just clicked me. So now this HTML element now is now listening to a click event. So this one way to add a click event to a HTML element. So there is another way to do that if we don't want to use this method, and this second method is a shorter one. We can just say the button dot, now using the object of the HTML element we want to add event, we'll just attach the event straight. We can say dot onclick. You can say onclick is equals to the callback function, which is this. Okay, we can still say you just click me, too. So now let's comment this guy. Let's just comment the first one to see that the second one is working actually. So you can see the second one is working. You just clicked me too. So you can see these are just two different ways to add event to a HTML element. So the first one and the second one. You can use any of them, and any of them you choose to use, you can just use them. And this is just a simple way to add an event to HTML element, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have not subscribed, subscribe to my channel, and so that you get notification whenever I post a new video. Thanks for watching once again.